Hello, dear friends. Good evening. Such a beautiful, beautiful evening. Should I do a greeting from the alternate universe? Maybe I will try. Hello, dear enemies. Such an ugly, ugly evening. Okay, maybe that's another greeting. Okay, so today we will talk about the story of the Lord of the Nile. This is the continuation of Greek, of Egyptian mythology. Yeah, Egyptian mythology. Long ago, when the world was new, the gods lived on earth, and the gods were pharaohs in Egypt. So at the beginning, in Egyptian philosophy, in Egyptian mythology, there was no human. That was before the beginning, before the creation, or before the existence of human in their mythology. The world was ruled not by king, not by rulers, not by president, not by minister, was ruled by gods. And in Egyptian mythology was not a single god. It's a group of gods. It's a variety of different functional gods. Ra and what's the name? Num and Geb, for example. Yeah, the god of sky, the god of air, the god of moisture, the god of water. It's a variety, multi gods. Okay, so they believed that the earth, the planet, the earth was ruled by gods, and the gods was named pharaohs in Egypt. So that's the pharaoh means the king. And before there were human, the earth was controlled by those gods in the name of pharaohs. By their wise example, the gods showed earth people how their land should be governed, and made them content. So the gods ruled, and the gods knows how to rule because they knows they are good. They are God, and they rule the earth with justice, with conformity, with caring, and the people were content. The last god to rule on earth was Horus, the son of Isis. When he saw that his people lived peacefully together and had learned to bless the god, he withdrew to the heaven and led mortals to rule Egypt. Oh, troubles start to come. That's the seed. So the last god was Horus. Horus was not a human figure. He was the son of Isis. Last time we talked about the revenge of Horus. So he was not a real a real person, a human person. And he was the last god. Why he was the last god? Because he ruled the world with kindness, with justice, and the people were happy, and people lived peacefully together from a different part of the world, and they can move around. They lived happy. So Horus thought, okay, people are living good. There is no need to have a god to rule. Maybe I can transfer the power of ruling to a mortal, to normal human people. And I, Horus, I myself, I do not need to stay here. I do not need to do the everyday job. I can go to heaven to enjoy. Yeah, so he decided this. So he left the ruling power to mortal people. Yeah. And he withdrew to heavens and let mortals to rule in Egypt. The people of Egypt still believed their pharaohs to be gods, and thought that each one, when he died, would join his father Ra and travel with him in the boat to sun, because Ra is the god of sun, right? And so they take a big boat to go to the sun, and Ra was the father. And so before departing, each pharaoh built an everlasting home, a tomb in which his body would be preserved forever. The ancient Egyptians believed that without a perfect, preserved body to live in, the soul would die. So that is something very, very unique about the Egyptian mythology, that in their believing that a very well preserved body is the most important. And without a well preserved body, the soul will die. The soul will not have a place. I think that explains the reason why there is mummification in Egypt, because they need that physical body to carry on the spirit, and they developed the mummification into such a complicated and advanced scientific method, and it's kind of hard to explain it. It's not hard to understand, it's just hard to speak it out. And for me, if I say it, I read the book and I feel every single hair of my body is starting to stand up. It's graphic. You can search online how the mummification is done. I will not say it because it does not make me feel comfortable. But anyway, so Egyptians developed the very sophisticated mummification so that the soul can live on and live forever. Now, about 4,600 years ago, Zozer, a god and a just king, ruled Egypt as pharaoh. So 4,600 years ago, there was a good king, a just king, and his name is Zozer, Zoser, and in other books it's written Djesor, something different, but I will take the easy route. Zozer, Zoser, Zozer. Zozer was a just king, ruled Egypt as pharaoh. He was anxious that his life in the next world should be blessed. But when he looked at the massive brick tombs of former pharaohs, he doubted whether even they would last forever. So he asked his vizier, the great architect Imhotep the Wise, to build him a truly godlike tomb that would outlast time itself. So Zozer, he was the ruler of Egypt, and he went to see the tombs, and before pyramid was created. They went to see the tombs here and there, and he saw the tombs, just a tomb does not look lasting forever. At the very beginning, 4,600 years ago. So I was thinking, will these tombs last forever? If it does not last forever, my soul, my spirit will die, and I do not want that. So he looked for the best architect, the wisest person of the whole Egypt country, and there is one, and his name is Imhotep. I am Hotep. Imhotep. And Imhotep is famous for building anything, everything. He had made the most beautiful garden, the most beautiful building. So he thought, this architect, this monsieur, this gentleman, this guy should be working for me. Yeah. So he asked Imhotep, the architect, to build him a truly godlike tomb that lasts forever and ever. Never, ever, ever, never break. No, never, ever, never, never. It just stay good forever. Imhotep, the architect, created a tomb of stone, which was made of many slabs of stone, set one upon another, make a staircase to the sky. This was the first pyramid, known as Step Pyramid. It was still stands today. So that was the first pyramid. It's, if you think about Lego, or just to think about Lego, one layer of Lego little pieces all together, and then on top of it will be another layer of Lego pieces, but the edge is kind of a a cube, right? The edge is actually not smooth. That was the very first pyramid. And you can go through the steps, go to the sun, Ra, go to heaven, right? So it's still the pyramid shaped, but not really called pyramid. It's a tomb, just like an altar, like a step by step, and at the end it's tall, it's small, but not completely a vertex, not completely a vertex. It's a platform on top, layer after layer. Yes. And this pyramid, you can still see a step pyramid. I forgot, 20 or 30 years ago, did I go to that pyramid? I forgot. It's been too long. And at that time, I actually had not at all knowledge about Egyptian mythology, Egyptian history. Yeah. So in the 18th year of Zozer, of 18th year of Zozer's reign, the pharaoh or the ruler, he ruled for 18 years. In the 18 years, disaster struck Egypt, the Nile, which flooded the land every year, was low and sluggish. Farmers waited anxiously for the river to coat their lands, to coat their fields with the rich mud in which the crops grew tall, and to fill the canals that watered them. For rain is hardly known in Egypt, but the flood failed. And when Set was the bad king, right? Set is the brother of Isis, the brother of Osiris, and he took the rightful king, and he took the place instead of the rightful king. Anyway, he was a bad guy. You have already heard about his story, Set, S-E-T. Some pronounce it, or some written S-E-T-H, Set. When Set sent the burning winds from the desert, all growing things shriveled and died, dried and died. And Set is the god of storm, god of darkness, god of violence, and just a bad guy, a bad god. So here is a little bit of story. In Egypt, rain is not a common thing, but how do the land, how do the field grow things? It's because of the Nile's flood. Nile flood every year. And I think this is also one of the reasons that the calendar was based on the period or the circulation, the rotation of when the water comes, when the flood comes, it becomes very regular. So usually every year there is a flood, and instead of rainwater, the flood water is the lifeline of the people along the Nile River. And in some mythology, that the Nile was the tear of one of the heavenly god. I forgot the name, but anyway, you just get the idea. Nile, the river Nile is the lifeline of Egypt. Yeah. So that year, disaster happened. There was no flood. How can people survive? Then Zozer fed his people from the granaries that held the surplus harvest for past years, granaries. So Zozer, he's a good king, right? He's a good ruler. He did not want his people to suffer, so he used previous year's harvest to feed the people. But for 7 years, 7. Oh my goodness, another 7. There must be something in Egypt just so magical about the 7. Yeah. For 7 years, the Nile failed to flood. And then when the granary or the National Reserve, when the National Reserve were open, they yelled only gusts of empty air. It's all completely used up. There's no more. People grew desperate. The strong stole from the weak. The old and sick were left to starve. So whoever have power, whoever has tools to steal, young, strong, they steal, and the old people and the sick people left to die. A country who cannot take care of the underprivileged people, that country is a bad country, right? Which government? It's not a good government, we know. Yeah, so because of the natural disaster, there were problems, right? And angry crowds beat upon the doors of Zozer's palace. So they went to the ruler Zozer, and they were angry and demanding he should use his godlike powers to make the river flood. You have power. Why not you help us? Actually, he can you? When heaven has a way, when heaven has a will, no human, no even God cannot help, right? So Zozer, the pharaoh or the king or the ruler, was at his wits' end. He was running out of ideas. What can I do? He had no idea how to make the Nile rise. And then one idea came to him. What can I do? Oh my. So he thought about, he got an idea. He thought about Imhotep. Who is Imhotep? The architect, right? The wise person. He commanded, there is no man living here wiser than him, than Imhotep. He is the wisest, he is almighty, he is just good. And Imhotep listened thoughtfully to the pharaoh's agitated question. Where is the birthplace of the Nile? What god or goddess rules there? I must be told that I may beg this being to send my country life. Where is the God? What is happening? And how can I go to see him? How can I go to beg him? How can I go to pray? And what can I do? Let me know. My people is dying. So he was just impatiently and anxiously asking. And Imhotep the wise person, listened to him. Great Pharaoh, he said, I do not know, but at the temple of Thoth, the wisest god in Egypt, Thoth, Thoth. Some pronounce it Thoth, and I think in English translation or in English way, it is Thoth, but I doubt if there is a th sound in Egypt, so I choose to pronounce it Thoth. Yeah, bear with me, okay? So, Imhotep said, I do not know, but at the temple of Thoth, at Hermopolis, Hermo, I do not know the meaning, but polis means city. Acropolis is tall city, city on top of Greek. Metropolitan is metro is, I think metro is land, city area. Anyway, cosmopolitan, it's a big city. Poly is city. So at Hermopolis, there are sacred books in which these secrets may lie hidden there. I will go to Hermopolis, and if Thoth guides me, I may learn the truth. So, in other books, we already talk about the book of Thoth, and it's such a fascinating, not only the ancient Egyptian, nowadays still there are scholars looking and believing there is a real physical book of the book of Thoth, and they were looking for it. And yeah, that's another story. But in ancient Egyptian mythology, book of Thoth is the all knowledge, is the truth of the universe, the magic of the universe. If I find that book, I will go to here and there, look for that book. Yeah. So before many days had passed, Imhotep returned with an answer. You must seek the mystery of the Nile. In the beginning of all things, in the far south, is an island called Abu, which means the city of the beginning. This was the first dry land to rise from the waters of Nu. Nu was the original god in Egyptian mythology, means water. Here, Ra stood where he spoke the names of all things. And we also learned about Ra has the power of names, which is the ultimate power of the Egyptian world. Name of all things. So Ra stood there when he spoke the names of all things. Here lies a cave where the river rests each year and is reborn. So Nile River, the flood, is when they agitate, and when they come down is that when they take a rest, and the next year or in the next phase they will rebirth. That's their philosophy, that's their religion. Then with new strength it rushes forth through two caverns, which are the breasts that nourish the land of Egypt. So, in Hoptus, in Hotep, returned with an answer. He said, we need to go to the beginning of the Nile. And the beginning of the Nile was a dry land. That place is an island called Abu. And Ra stays there to do the prayer, to tell the name. It's the most holy place. So, and there, the Nile, the river Nile, will take a rest and rebirth, and then nourish the land of Egypt. The Lord of the cave is Knemu, the Nile god. Knemu, 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 the Nile god. Only he can make the river flood again. So we need to go to the beginning of the river. There is an island, and in the island, the ultimate god there, and also there lived the god of Nile. And the god of Nile, his name is Knemu. Knemu, and he has the power. Not you, not me, not Yanghaiying, not anybody else. No one but Knemu. 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 It's hard for me to pronounce, but you get the idea. Knemu. He, and only he, is the one and only one to make the river flood again. Ha ha. Maybe they are going to go there, I am thinking. That's my guess. See you later, alligator. I will see you in the next one. I love you. I really do. Do. Goo goo bye bye.